Maxwell! Maxwell!
Yes!
Arg, this may be too loud for you, you old bat.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you talking.
Well, look what we got on the port stern prow of the brigand ship and that we got there. That's fucking... We got a Kraken!
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that shit. Anyways,
Yeah,
yo...
we couldn't hear you, man. It's all good. It's the music.
Maybe.
I can't hear the music at all.
Well, you probably can't hear me either. Anyways, this is the Nothing Sacred Show, as usual, informal and fucked up as it is. I am Cruise Control.
I am Maxwell Silverhammer.
And I'm the Kraken.
The Kraken, and this is the 9th of July, 2017. It is the year 2017, guys. It is the current year. It is the current year, and this is going to be like a theme show, it seems like, because it is that time of in the lives of all Nevadans where things have
become legal that weren't previously
opened up. So we got that to talk about tonight, and I do want to give a
story for you guys. You'll love it.
A few quick plugs. First of all, I think we're gonna have to introduce you to Discord. I'm gonna plug Discord to Max personally. Because Discord is something I think will be easier to use in a lot of ways, and I think it might work just the same as Skype if I can get it to work that way. So
hopefully it's as accessible. I mean, Skype is barely accessible.
That's what I'm saying. This is a website, so it should be a lot more accessible because you don't have to actually. You can download a program, but it's actually a website, so it's a link you just click on and go there. So
and there's not a lot of QC poofs popping up, is it?
It does no, not for that. Okay. So we'll see if we can get that to work. Anyway, so that's one butt plug. The other one is I actually have started a new channel, so that's my thing. I started a new channel. It's a gaming improv channel. So is you guys still there?
Yeah.
So it's called Flanagan Folio. So I'm pimping my own thing. I got a video up there already. It actually is probably posting now. It's a game video, and it's my first stab at like an improvised spotlight on a game. It's called Wolson Lords of Mayhem. So if anybody's listening and likes game info, it's an early access game. I go over the basics of the game and how it works. So check it out.
What's the name again?
Flanagan Folio. FLYNNIGAN space FOLEO. It's one of my character names that I always named my characters in my games. So
I'll have to check them out.
Yes.
That's excellent, Cruise Control. And speaking of butt plugs, I have a large pink one sitting right in my posterior, and it feels excellent.
Oh, that's fantastic! Now,
that was great.
Now don't fart that out, man, because you want to make sure
might put a hole in the wall.
And I know how your farts could actually destroy something, man. That's dangerous.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's fine. It's become like a subwoofer now. All right, I'm getting some great vibrations.
That's like a cork in a shaken up champagne bottle. So it's
I was thinking it's like a shotgun shell.
Yeah, like fucking just blasting out, like forcing out and damaging someone, putting someone's eye out. So I'm definitely staying away from that shit.
It's like a ballistic silicone missile.
Yes, ballistic ricocheting off the fucking ground and back at your back, like fucking. You fucking kill yourself because it blasts out your ass, ricochets off the floor, slams into your back, and goes out your stomach. And a spray of guts and gore.
It sounds like you've done this before.
Only in the dreams of it. Only in the melatonin-induced dreams I've been having lately. Anyway, so this is a.
So we found out the truth. You have non-24.
Non-24, yeah. No. Melatonin is awesome for lucid dreaming, by the way, and other kind of dreams. But that's another story. That's another plug. So, anyways, I'm doing that. So life is good in that way. But let's go to a story. So I know Max is chomping at the bit to get to one of his stories. I know. I think. Kraken has his couple stories. It's a lot of it involving the lovely the lovely plant that is flowing now in the Vegas Valley. So why don't you go ahead and tell us your story, Max?
All right, here's my story. So Kraken, you and I have talked about hitting up the dispensary several times, and we kind of go by it, but we obviously there's lines, and we're like, fuck that, we're not doing this shit. So I was at Oasis, where I used to have my Toastmaster meetings, and I still go in there just to hang out with, to bullshit with the staff and, just hang out with people. So I'm there having some beers, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, bro, how you been? It's Steve, the chef." And I met him. I remember him because I met him back when I was still in Toastmasters, and I came in one day, So anyway, he starts talking to me. Somehow we get on the subject of weed, and he's like, "Hey, man, actually, because I said something about, yeah, I wanted to go to the dispensary, but there's so many lines and it's so crazy and popular right now. He's like, dude, there's just one down the street. And I'm like, yeah, but is there a line? He's like, hell no. He's like, I'll take you right now. And I'm like, right now? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, I got an open beer tab and I plan to come back and drink more. And he's like, that's fine. He's like, these are my people, man. Don't worry about it. You're going with me. So I'm like, all right.
Dude, like, yeah, dude. Okay.
So, yeah, so we get in the car and just drive like a block. And sure enough, we get right in. And here's my observation, man. This is something that I noticed from like the Oregon dispensaries versus the ones here in Nevada, or at least here in Vegas. The ones in Oregon, you know, when you walk in, it's still, you know, it smells like weed. It's very, you know, hi, how are you today? And kind of earthy and hippie kind of feeling,
yeah.
You know?
Very welcoming and warm and low to the ground.
Exactly. Whereas when the ones here in Vegas, it's almost like they want to turn it into a casino or an arcade or something, because they got like loud music going on, and I don't know if there was games in there or some shit. It sounded like that because there was a lot of noise when we went in.
Yeah. No kidding. There is a distinctive vibe that differentiates it from Oregon.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like, you know, it's not like the kind of place where I'd want to go like, hey, let me go buy some cron.
Actually, sorry, a little interruption. You know what Nevada dispensaries are like compared to Oregon dispensaries? Oregon dispensaries are real life, and Nevada dispensaries are like reality TV, like the exaggeration of the real thing.
Yeah, you're right. Like, oh, this is how it is, man, in the weed business or something.
Yeah, like
you're
you walk
gonna
in
get
and it's
stoned. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
You know.
This is Vegas. This is.
Believe in love after love, and like then a voice calls you up. Boom. Please step right up, number 34, and you get in there, and they're like, "Welcome to Euphoria." Da 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 da.
Yeah, it's almost like you're right, man. They kind of do want to make it like clubbish or you know, like some place like that's a cool hangout.
Yeah, come on in, man, and hang, man, and be cool, because we're legal. Yeah.
We're embracing. Well, anyway, I bought an edible. It was a candy bar. Or
how much was it?
It was $20.
Okay. All right. How much was the milligrams in it?
It's 10 milligrams a square.
And how many did you eat?
Well, that night I ate 2. Right?
Ooh.
Okay, and so you ate 2 10-milligram squares, and you were like, okay, right?
Yeah. Well, and then I was drinking too, so that kind of softened. So, you know, I just was kind of riding whatever.
Oh,
so
no.
I get home, you know, I go.
How
to the
many
pool.
squares were there?
Fuck, I don't know. I didn't count them all, but it's a big bar, dude. I still got some left.
Okay, good. That's what I was gonna just making sure.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, trust me, dude. I'm not stupid.
Because
like
10
that,
milligrams a square, and if it's like 10 squares, that's a 100-milligram bar for $20. They may be cheap. Nah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I mean, it was I thought it was pretty pretty good.
Okay, so you had 2 squares, and that was a decent one, right? Okay.
Right, and then I broke Steve off 2 squares too for driving me down there, man.
Oh, cool.
You know, see, oh fuck yeah, dude, because he didn't have to do that, you know.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, yeah, we. But what was funny is, all right, so I get home, you know, I'm done at the bar, I'm drinking, I'm doing my shit, and so I get on the bus, I come home, had a talkative driver too, a guy who knows me, so of course he wanted to talk, and he's like, man, you're fucked up, huh? And I'm like, yeah, well, you know. Yeah, I can really talk, dude. I'm like, yeah, dude, and I took an edible the night, man. And
oh man, you dumbass, talking shit during.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, so how was it, man? How did it feel, dude? I mean, how are you feeling right now, bro? And I'm like, I'm good, man. I'm just riding, man. You know, it's like
leave me
really
alone.
Didn't want to talk.
Yeah, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me alone.
Exactly.
That's a let me alone moment. Just let me alone.
Yeah, it's the night I really wish I had a driver that didn't speak much English. Mm-hmm. You know, that would work for me that night. You know.
Yeah, minorities when you need them the most.
I know, they're like cops, right? Never around when you need them.
Yeah, well, minorities, you can't beat cops.
Hey, now, you can.
Man,
in this day and age, you can. It's actually a good idea. For a lot of people, yeah, you can. You can beat up cops. Hey, man. Anyway, so you get home, all right?
So I get home, I go to the pool for a little bit, whatever, do my shit, eventually go to sleep. So I wake up the next morning. I'm feeling, that flower pot heady feeling, like, yeah, man, geez, like,
Yeah.
I got rocked last night kind of feeling. So, but I wasn't. I would have considered myself sober at that point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wasn't. I was still kind of out of it, but I was definitely sober. I wasn't like euphoric anymore.
Okay.
So I get up and have a dip, and then have something to eat, and then a little while later, I'm sitting in front of my computer, and all of a sudden, I'm feeling kind of zony, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't smoke nothing. I didn't, why am I feeling that way? And then I'm like, all right, you know what? I think I'm going to get on the treadmill. So I put the music on, get on the treadmill, and without a doubt, that's when I felt it kicking in for real. And I'm like, wait a minute. So what I want to ask you guys is, can edibles be re-triggered?
I don't think so.
You know what they have is they do seem like they can pulse a little bit though. Like you'll get a big initial wave and then it'll lull and then you'll feel it hit you again.
But not
and
12
it can happen
hours
after a while.
But how spaced does that happen?
I've never heard of that happening, man. It's like but you definitely knew you felt the same way.
There was no doubt that I was definitely
for how long?
High. Till like 3 yesterday afternoon. I mean, this is because it was. Let's see, about 8:30 when I got up yesterday morning?
And what time did this happen?
What time did I start? When time did I take the thing?
And so you took some. What time? So this morning you got up. What time did you start feeling high?
Oh, a little after I ate breakfast.
Wow. So you were high for like 5 hours again?
The food. What's that?
You were high for like 5 hours again?
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't know about that, man. Are you sure you didn't eat anything that could have? No.
All I ate was the 2 squares of the bar the night before. That was at 8:30 p.m. Or no, I'm sorry, about 7:30 p.m. at Oasis, or before I got back to Oasis. And then, of course, I was feeling the effects plus the beer that night. And then Saturday morning, that's when I got up. And I felt, like I said, flower pot heady and lethargic, but I wasn't like, I wasn't euphoric stoned anymore. So I get up and, I do my usual shit, have a dip, and then get something to eat. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting in front of my computer and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm feeling a little zony. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just after effect. But then when I got on the treadmill, that's when that bitch kicked in. I knew without a doubt, I'm like, wait a minute, I am stoned.
Did it feel good? Did it feel good?
Oh yeah, no. I was like, wow, holy shit.
Weird.
I did have a little bit of the pacey shit going on where I was like, a little bit nervy.
I've never heard of that happening, honestly.
Never heard of it re-triggering?
Not that way, unless it was maybe something. I've heard of like flashbacks, but I'm not sure.
No flash.
Oh man, edibles are weird.
Yeah, they're. I think Kraken had an experience.
Well, yeah, to put it lightly. I mean, last weekend I also partook of an edible, and it didn't end nearly as well as it did for Maxwell. It was a 10 milligram chocolate coconut macaroon. It was very lovely. I had it at 1 in the afternoon last Sunday, and it hit around 2:30, and then my computer screen was too bright to look at. And so I got up and I started pacing, and it felt like the walls were vibrating. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, I'm having a bad trip. But I know I'm having a bad trip, so everything's going to be fine, right? Wrong. It was not fine. I spent the next 6 hours pacing around my bedroom and then rolling back and forth across my mattress. And finally I started asking myself, am I going to die? I don't know if I'm going to die or not.
That happens, man. And some of those, what I found, honestly, and so Max, you're a perfect example of someone who can tell me how you feel about the differences between what you've had manufactured and distributed like legally, and the stuff that I used to make, the baker used to make, and my buddy used to make for you, the brownies that we used to make, and those sugar cookies.
Right. Well, you know what? See,
which ones? How do they feel different? How do you feel? Do you think they're What do you think?
Well, these things that you can buy, holy shit, man! These are like pretty extra strength if they can kick in again like that. I mean, I've never heard that's something I've never had with any of the stuff.
I'm just talking about the feeling of it when you're doing it. Because for me, I don't like them that much. Most of them I don't like. They're too jagged. They feel too. They feel almost processed in a way, like because it's all oil, just not the butter. Like the can of butter is what really did it for those stuff that we used to make. That I used to get.
Right. Well, the ones you made were good. There was no doubt as far as how they tasted, and boy, fuck, they'd fuck you up pretty good too.
Yeah,
so,
and then
but the thing was, it was a reasonable amount of time. It wasn't like, holy shit, the next day I'm feeling this already. I think that's almost a little too much.
What did you eat again?
For breakfast?
Yeah.
All I had was a muffin or some shit. One of my diet Nutrisystem things. That's all I had. It wasn't like this huge breakfast.
You sure no one popped a muffin into your fucking drink? That it is a special muffin for you.
No, nothing like that.
That's really strange, though. I've never really heard of that intensely coming on for that long. I've heard of periods of like 15, 20 minutes maybe where you're like, whoa. But not five fucking hours where you're like, damn, again.
No, this was, let's see, because like I said, I was up at 8:30. Yep, I'd say about 9:30, 10 o'clock, it started kicking in again. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's weird. I've never had that happen.
Yep.
Nah, I'm with you, Cruise Control. I'm pretty sure Maxwell got roofied. He left out the part where he woke up with Steve in his bed.
God damn it. You're right. I never talked about him dropping me at Oasis, did I?
Yeah,
dropped me on my faces.
It was a story of romance that Maxwell glossed over. He came up to me in the bar and said, hey, dude, you want to get out of here? Go get an edible. Next thing you know it, they're hot tubbing, and then they're rolling around in the sweaty passion of the human evening.
Damn.
You want to nibble on my bar? Take a few milligrams of me deep down
I am a chef after all.
You're gonna feel me tomorrow morning for 5 hours, big guy. All right, so let's see what else we got going on. So so how's it been this week? It's been crazy. I know some dispensaries I've heard have been just round the clock, constantly bombarded. Other ones, I mean, how's the vibe in Vegas? How was it over the holiday? A lot of stupid shit happened, or are people losing their shit yet, or I know they made a ton of money.
Well, I mean, so far they've went over the estimates of the earnings during the holiday rush from the weekend up until the 4th, and yeah, there are lines around the block, just hordes and hordes of people. And it's funny because if you looked at the lines, you wouldn't see just one kind of person like your stereotypical stoner. You saw everyone from from the elderly to couples to people of different ethnicities and religions, young, old, and from all walks of life showing up, and they're all excited and they're like, oh yeah, this is great, and there are a lot of new people. Really positive atmosphere. And of course, you got the fact that everyone was trying to make the scene, at the time, which crowded lines more, but the people were cool for the most part.
I mean, see, for me, it was crazy because there was no line. He was like, dude, there's no line at this place. And sure as shit, we got right in because I thought, oh, man, because from the stuff I've heard, from everybody else, oh, yeah, man, there's lines around the blocks. There's this, that. So I'm like, oh, fuck, well, give that a few weeks, maybe even months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wonder how much the weed was there. Or what's it called? Do you know what the place is called?
The one I went to?
Yeah.
It had a really generic name, like Vegas Dispensary or something like that. It's over on, let's see, it was Decatur and Hacienda.
Decatur and Hacienda. Oh, wow. Down there, huh?
Yep.
On that side of town. See, what is that? Down. Nice. Well, that's a good place. Not busy, folks. Go down.
Yeah.
Probably because they don't have much
left.
left.
More expensive than Eugene.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure well, Oregon has always had more, and there's more here. There's more to grow. There's more places. In this place, you can drop a seed in anywhere in this fucking state, and it'll grow.
But like, and also, I don't know if Oregon's doing this yet, but Nevada, they went off the bat with like being ultra chic and how they catalog all of their flower. They're like, these are the premium flowers, and they're all $20 a gram. And then these are the superior flowers, and they're $15. And then these are just flowers.
My place has that, but my place has basic. You can get basic weed for $5 a gram. and it's decent.
Yeah.
See, that's what I remembered, and that's why I thought. Well, remember you had asked me, Kraken. You was like, "How much do you think it would be?" And I'm like, "I'm about $10."
Yeah,
there is $10
no,
stuff. There's definitely there should be $10 stuff there. There has to be stuff.
There is like between 1 and 3 options though. It's very limited.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
probably
It's in general, I'd say it's about 30% more expensive, and that's before the taxes come in, which are.
The types of and prices, they'll probably clean up a bit as they go along because they're really low on it'll settle down.
See, and I thought, oh, go ahead, man.
Oh, I was going to say you would think so, but I just think it's going to get worse from here as more and more states start to legalize, because companies are just going to start marketing it harder and harder. So they're going to split everything up into micro categories. They're going to start coming out with quality grades, and they're going to muck up everything. And next thing you know, you're going to see 6-packs of Marlboros mixed in with all kinds of who knows what, in your freaking average store.
Well, we'll see.
That's corporate Jim's
maybe in
product.
Vegas that'll be the case, but there will always be some unique stores hidden away.
Well,
here's the thing. Up here, it's not
like,
going to be that way, I don't think, because it's more like an artisan type thing here. People are really aware. I mean, Oregon and weed, they go together like Oregon and weed. I mean,
yeah, nothing to be said there.
No,
but the thing was too, it's almost like they were trying to push a specific thing on you. Like they said, well, did you like chocolate things or you like fruity? And I'm like, well, chocolate. So I thought maybe they'll have some cookies or maybe a brownie or something like that. Oh no, it was this big ass bar that you got to break squares off and all this.
But it's
I thought there'd be more of a
selection. It's great for dosing, which is awesome. So you can be like, oh, 20 milligrams, I know that's going to get me good. And then, although 20 milligrams is decent if you don't smoke a lot, it's a pretty decent size amount.
Oh,
I don't know, man. Edibles are tricky. After that last experience last week, I don't know who to trust, because that was supposed to be 10 milligrams, and I've handled that plenty of times.
What you need to do is find I think if you really, I think those squibs would be good if there was a third of it. But the point is, you got to find a dose of something that's consistent and a consistent brand that you know you're going to want and you know exactly how you're going to get. Because if you go too far
at this point, I think I'm just going to get an eighth. And make my own infusion of coconut oil, and then I'll make edibles with that.
Or that or butter. Butter works well too. But you're better cook than I am. Yeah,
I do the vegan bacon thing. Yeah, and coconut oil's kind of been my thing of choice, and I know it makes really good coconut oil.
That sounds fantastic. So
it does. So okay,
I was going to say coconut oil. I love
coconut oil.
Show now. A chronic cooking show.
All right, so we're here with Maxwell Silverspoon and Crew's Kitchen. All right, and I am, of course, the chicken.
The kitchen Kraken.
Kraken pot.
Yeah, Kraken.
The Kraken pot.
He's the Kraken.
The Kraken.
Okay, you little doobie brothers out there.
All right, so here's what we're
cooking
going
goggles.
All right, we're going to do this. Oh, this is going to be fantastic, guys. Oh, my God. We're going to use our special new appliance. Only $19.99 for a limited time. It's called the Cokinator.
Right. Actually, if you look over at the corner of the screen, you'll see the timer starting. And I'm telling you, folks, these kind of deals you don't get anywhere else. Call now because the phones are getting flooding, and I assure you that supply is short.
I just came from the phone room, folks, and let me tell you, those calls just keep coming in. The lines are flashing. They're going crazy over this. This is going to be a revolutionary product.
Oh, Mark! Yes, Marcy. Oh, this cannabis brownie is a great compliment to the amphetamines I took earlier. It is, Marcy. I agree. Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
It is indeed. God bless America on this fine day. Like I said, folks, you have 3 minutes left. For just 3 easy payments of $13.48, you could get your hand on this quality, superior, high-grade, all-natural, organic, locally sourced, GMO-free certified guarantee.
Hey, Marcy, stop picking your face. Sorry, Mark.
You two stop fighting. Stop bringing your problems to the station, okay?
We go on for hours. That's improv, folks.
That's called improvising and being funny.
Yeah, so
exactly. I mean, even though this is all scripted, we like to make it
wrote that in,
fun.
We're absolutely scripted. So anyway,
I worked on that for a week.
So Max, you got another story, or do we, or what else?
Well, what do you guys have, man? I mean, I do have something else, but it's not as really important. It's kind of
I'm just.
If you guys don't have anything,
I don't have really much. I mean, everything's pretty decent right now. I mean, I've just got Yeah.
You Kraken? What you Kraken? You got anything?
Well, I have something, but it's game related. So but it has to do with quality versus quantity, really overall.
Okay.
So there's this game I'm playing lately. It's called Terraria, and if any of you have heard of Minecraft, it's really essentially that, except it's 2D. It's all pixelated. And it's a brilliant game, has a lot of depth and a lot of gameplay, and it's just really well created. And it's just so funny how, like, this game was $5 on sale, and it's funny how, like, these kind of games are out there, but they're very low quality. And then you look at these big multi-millionaire dollar companies that have the sleekest graphics and the top of the level quality machinery and everything, and their games are like cardboard. It's like the equivalent of eating a fast food piece of styrofoam, you know. And it's funny. It's like, why can't you get that kind of quality in a game with decent graphics? The companies could do it, but they don't, because you know why? It's risky. They don't want to take these kind of risks that these smaller individual companies do, and it's frustrating because you look at these games and you're like, man, if these had the backings of a big company, these would be some of the best games ever made.
But then again, if you look at the Terraria, in spite of that, it is extraordinarily successful. It's extremely popular.
Oh goodness, yes, yeah.
But yeah, if you had
it's
backing,
not by Ubisoft or any, or EA or Square Enix.
That's why it's extremely, and that's why the death of the standard video game. It's movie, and we can incorporate this into movies too, Max. So we can get you involved into and just any media.
Are you playing these online, or are these things?
It doesn't just any games. The point is that the quality. It's like movies, Max. How many big budget movies do you really go to that are like you just like, wow, this was great? Usually it's like, yeah, it's a same
usually low budget are kind of they're high budget. You talking about high budget movies?
I'm just talking, big budget movies like you go see, like say with your mom or whoever else you see movies with.
Well, this Baby Driver was fucking lame, dude. Last week,
and everyone's
this shit was bad. Oh, well, not only that. Well, look, here's my story. Here's another story that I just thought of. Speaking of that. So we go and we get the audio, the headphones for the descriptive audio, right? And the girl gives them to us and everything, and I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. So they don't do anything until the actual movie comes on. So I had the thing on, and I was waiting for it to start talking because I heard the movie music starting. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't hear talking. So I'm hitting buttons, I'm trying to turn it up, I'm turning it on, turning it off. So I said, Mom, it's not working. I don't know what the hell. So she looks at it, she starts messing with it, and she can't get it to work. So she goes, you want me to take this out and see if they'll replace it? And I said, yeah, I just hope you don't miss much of the movie. So anyway, she runs down. This other guy gives her another thing. And I guess he just gives her the thing for the hearing impaired. Because it came back, it has headphones, and it's just the dialogue of the movie going through the headphones. But my mom said on the display, it shows subtitles.
Oh,
so, yeah. They gave us the wrong shit because the guy was noopid, you know.
So then you had to get another one, right?
No. At that point, I said, we're not bothering with this, you know, because it's not fair to make my mom keep running out of the movie, you know.
Absolutely. So you watch this movie.
That might have had something to do with your opinion of the movie.
Well, it did actually. I actually I tried to follow what I could. Obviously, it was much harder to follow. It was almost, at first I thought it was like a Fast and Furious with all the car chases and shit like that going on. And, you know, I was like, what is this, some kind of Fast and Furious movie? So, and then I could get what I could get, you know, as far as from the dialogue. And sometimes I'd ask my mom, like, what just happened? You know, so I was able to follow it okay, but still, man, I even if what I was able to get, it was still lame. I thought it was
there's a lot of new movies that I think are just big budget. They're like I said, cardboard, but it's the same thing. It's movies. Games are becoming what movies are. Unfortunately, that's what happens with corporatization and with
they shitty-ize things.
They shitty-ize things to dumb them down to make them consumable, so that everyone can enjoy them. And so people that are actually into gaming and into the intricate stuff and want to think about their games more. And, you know, it's a hobby for, and maybe take their hobby a little bit more serious. Yes, absolutely. Right. They need to find things like Terraria because, and games like Wolcen that I look at, games that require a little bit more digging to find the games first of all, and then to decide whether you want them or not.
Right.
Because this is the age of people that buy games and go, oh, the game's not working. It's fucking stupid. It's so dumb. It's
they return some shit.
And then you're like, dude, it's an early access game. It says alpha early access. Well, they shouldn't have it ready if No, dude, it says it on the fucking page. Early access. This game is not complete. This game is a beta. We'd like you to participate to help us fund the game and also help us, play the game. And
so the guy thought, like,
well, it happens all the time. People are like, oh, well, it's because reviews of other people. They complete. So if you have people like that, those are the people that don't look into it. So they make games and they make a lot of money off them.
Wow, that's crazy.
Matt, well, Craig, are you still there?
Yeah, no, I'm still here. I'm just listening. It's just spreading across all forms of media, whether it's video games or movies or book or music. Yeah, anything really. And you know what's the most frustrating thing about that kind of stuff is it's never enough for these companies to cut something from the quality of their product. It's never enough, and they don't get it because they'll make a cut. And they'll say, sorry, we had to do this, okay, but here's why, and this is what we have to do to make this work. And as a consumer, you give them a bit of trust, and you say, okay, all right, we understand. We got you, all right? But then they're like, wait, they said yes to that. What if we cut a little bit more? And
let's see what we can get away with. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's so fine. It's like a thread of hair being taken off of a stack. But every time it's one more hair and one more hair. And next thing you know, they've cut everything that made that product special or interesting and turned it into a lifeless shell that's just there for profit. And we've gotten so lax and so complacent with that kind of attitude from these big companies that they can get away with it because we still purchase that content. We still support those companies and what they're doing, and it's paying off for them.
Enough people do that it's not profitable for them to change because people want the same things. They want just little modifications, unfortunately. That's a lot of what people unfortunately want. People aren't really into music and other things like a lot of, depending on what you're into. And I'm not saying, people aren't into music. I'm saying anybody into certain things. A lot of people
some
aren't.
People
They're just
aren't
like, I just like to hear boopy doopy deepy doopy deeple
like you ask them what they like and they can't tell you really.
It's still fucking that's a great.
Well, when I was when I went to the Donnie Menace locksmith concert, there was this chick sitting next to me, and she was like, she goes, I don't really like this kind of music. I was like, really? Why are you here? She's like, oh, well, my boyfriend's performing. She's like, but I don't know this. And I was like, well, what kind of music do you normally listen to? And she goes, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, like pop type stuff, like, I'm like, well, give me some artists. She couldn't do that,
Yeah, some people just don't do that. It's the same thing with game, but they do listen to music.
Yeah, they just don't really know what it is they're listening
I'm shortchanging some gamers, but a lot of it is they'll take it. But it's just like music. Whatever's on top 40 is the music that a lot of people are going to listen to, and that's why the number one song in the country is a song that someone else chose for us to hear and go, oh, well, I want you to see if this is the number one song.
We're gonna make
And it's the same thing with games. Well, this Call of Duty 5 came out. Oh, all your friends are gonna play. It's the new Call of Duty 5. Come on now.
It's like they put their consumer base on rails now. They're like, okay, welcome around. It's the next year, so we're coming by the Call of Duty stop, and then next we're gonna come by the Mario stop, and then the Zelda stop. And it's the same thing with movies. All right. Yeah. Oh, welcome to the spring of 2017. Here's your spring sequel, and here's your summer sequel. Oh, and here's a fall prequel. And
here's a fall
the whole
spin-off.
Time, the consumer base is on the rails going, ooh.
Here's a fall spin-off movie because fall is our downtime after the summer blitz of movies, so we need to put something out there to fill that void until the winter sequel season.
Let's keep the dum-dums swinging along, huh?
Yeah, keep everyone going. Keep everyone going. Keep everyone focusing on that, and it's the same thing with games. And then, of course, they got the other thing that happens. Oh, you like Call of Duty 3, don't you? Well, we're going to shut down those servers. But Call of Duty 5 and 6, their servers are going to be up. Oh, all your friends are probably going to get 5 and 6. Oh, you can't play 3. Well, 4 might be up for another year. But, hey, 5 is the real fucking, so they cut you that way. So you have to buy the new game.
Right.
I'm glad I'm out of that industry. It kind of soured me to the whole, being in that industry and working from the other side definitely soured my feelings toward the industry as a whole, just knowing what they get away with in terms of quality of product. So many issues and name brand products that have been out for years and years, and they still have the same fucking issues each time they go out because they don't have to change anything. Because everyone's going to buy the new fuck. Oh, well, this one has LeBron James dressed in a tuxedo. Oh, man. Oh, shit, I got to get this one. Everybody needs a new version of the game. It's the same fucking version as last year, except they got Kevin Durant.
The problem is they force you to change shit sometimes. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Like certain systems won't, like you were saying earlier. Oh, we don't have Call of Duty 3 anymore, but we got 5 and 6. You know, so they force you to update to some shit. You know?
Yeah, it's the same thing with anything else.
And it's ubiquitous across all platforms, like we said, not just gaming. Like you can apply that to almost any product out there that you purchase.
Yeah.
Right, phones, anything. You know,
pretty much.
Yeah,
it's consumer world, and you know, I work for a new company now, and it actually I'm not gonna lie, it's been very good. I'm very happy with it so far, but I'm not lying to myself. It is the most consumer driven company in history.
Oh goodness, yeah.
History. Like we're talking ever in ever company. Just the way they do their whole shit, and just the amazing amount of this week. There's gonna be over 90,000 TVs, millions and millions of shit sold because there's a promotion going on. So it's just amazing how consumerist we are. Just how things are just driving everything. Things and watching stuff instead of just actual, actual interactions and things that actually happen in real life. And it's just amazing how consumer driven we are with movies. We gotta watch this new movie. You haven't seen it? Oh,
Yeah, like you haven't been there. You haven't seen that yet. Oh my god. Or everybody has to see it on the first day. That was Mac Metro with All Eyes on Me. Jesus Christ.
I bet he had to, of course he
did. And that one we did get descriptive audio in. That was good, so.
But I mean, we could talk about corporate shilling and all that all day,
That's true. That's true. And that's the concern that's going to happen with the marijuana industry in all these states.
Oh yeah,
that's a huge it's going to be, and you can even see it now. Like do you trust the cartridge companies? Here's your cartridge, it's pure duper. Oh, we did put some arsenic in there because
and see, that's what I was wondering. Like with cracking the story that you told. Like, is this shit? This is real marijuana, right? It's not like spice or some manufactured shit.
It's processed.
I'll agree with you on the point that you don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't know because the quality assurance isn't there yet. They might say 10 mgs, but who knows? Maybe I got a really weird strain of 10 mg, or maybe I got 15 or 20 10 mg because that was not the consistency that I expected. Because I've had plenty of edibles at this point, and there's a level of consistency that you come to expect with that. Mm-hmm. That was completely far and away from that consistency.
And I've noticed that they feel like process. It's like, in a way, cartridges are similar. Instead of smoke, they feel like a process high. It's like a more cleaner in a way, but also
robotic.
It's like hard liquor compared to beer. It's like really clean, like distilled, like ooh. Like just kind of going right into you.
Like somebody had doctored it up a little bit or something,
So, but it makes you wonder though, like whether it's the processing part of it that makes it feel that way, like whether it's just because it's not just boiled in water or whatever, like a can of butter or a coconut oil or whatever. So it's interesting because I noticed a difference intrinsically. But I guess the point is that that's going to be more processed, more factory based instead of like some dude in his fucking. Because right now, a lot of stuff in Oregon is still some dude in his backyard making it. That's why the prices are great, because people are just really literally growing it in their backyards. And making,
but see, at least that's natural shit. You know, like you don't want stuff that's. I'm hoping, man, we're not getting some like synthetic.
Well, what I mean by process. Let me rephrase that, Max. What I mean by process is the way they distill stuff. It's not like synthetic. It's just like the cannabis stuff is like distilled into oil through various means, and some of them aren't as great as others, like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, damn, you're hoping for the natural chronic high. That's what
the only way you're really going to know you're getting that is if you actually have someone bake it for you and give you one that's been baked in someone's house. And that's the way you know, because what you do with that is you actually break up the flour, and that's kind of the trade-off. Right there.
It seems a little more manageable too. The ones you used to make because they were wrapped up, they were easy. These motherfuckers, man, they put this in like a big Ziploc bag. You got to push down on the zipper and do this whole little thing to make it open.
Yep.
They vacuum seal in Nevada, cruise control. Like they
do that now too. They have the little plastic bags.
The big white plastic bags that are pressure sealed. They're not even Ziplocs. They're pressure sealed.
Oh, okay. But it's a slider zipper thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, oh, I'm talking. Well, I mean, the shop I went to, they gave me everything in like this big plastic envelope that was pressure sealed. I couldn't even tear it open with my hands. I had to get a knife.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. No, this is like it's almost like a shopping bag that you get at a candy store.
Yeah.
But it's Ziploc.
Yeah,
it actually has a sliding
but it's
zipper
not.
on
It's
it.
not. It's like a child-proof Ziploc almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's an. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's funny you said that you use that metaphor like getting a bag from a candy shop because that's why they're doing these severe packaging though in Nevada because there's a huge uproar from your typical the type of people that would say this that edibles like gummies and chocolates, all right, kids are gonna see them and they're gonna eat them and all that,
They
which
will.
is just. No, that like they won't. Not in the regular containers that they have already.
They can't even get in there.
Yeah,
You can't,
it's thick medical grade silver plastic. The labels are not colorful. It literally looks like a canister of medicine that and if you keep that on a high counter, your small child shouldn't be getting that anyway.
No, but people have it sitting out on their counter and on a fucking plate, dude. Don't even. This is America, folks. Come on now.
Okay, my thing is. Does anybody ever try? You can't bring a child into the dispensary, can you?
No.
Oh, God, no.
No,
okay, I don't think so. So that means, how are those kids ever going to see those things if they're in the dispensary?
They will take them out of the packaging and put them on a fucking plate.
Go in there and sell the candy to children out on the schoolyard.
No. It's because parents are this is the human race here, dude. We're gonna have parents that are gonna take them out, put them on a plate, pass out stoned and forget about them, and kids are gonna come along and eat them. Yeah, of course, happens all the time.
Yeah, there's always
the thing about it is most of the time
that's gonna happen. But like I said, that's the logical. That's the logical point of view you're coming from, Cruise Control. The people in Nevada, the point of view they're coming from is the fact that they think that the candy is gonna look marketable to children, and that is definitely not true. All right, it doesn't look anything like something a child would want to eat when it's inside the bag. And the gummies and stuff, they're not fun shapes. They're not bears or worms or anything. So.
Yeah, no, but they're all like that one. Even the squid was kind of a nondescript package.
No, it was literally a hockey puck of gummy in a cardboard tube. All right, and it smelled awful. If a kid picked that up, they would not even touch that. It looks like You guys ever seen those dishwasher packets that are filled with gel?
I got those.
Yeah, that's what the puck looks and feels like.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So how do you? What do you do? You just eat that thing like that?
It tastes good.
Yeah, like I said, it's a little cardboard tube though. It's not surrounded in plastic.
No, but it's I could see a kid eating it definitely if it was sitting out on the counter, cut in half. Some kid would eat that shit. It smells like watermelon. Fuck yeah.
I smelled that.
I
would. If I was a kid, that would.
Oh, I would eat that shit. I'd be like, but I wouldn't. I'd never eat anything that I wouldn't know. But I was a smart kid in that way. But I can see some fucking kid going along going, no impulse control. It smells fruity. It's sitting there. I'm gonna have it. Nom nom nom. And
I was always afraid if I didn't know what it was, I wouldn't touch it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about it that I think is funny, and this is what I think is. They always talk about that one case where the kid eats the cookie and he gets sick and they take him to the hospital. How many times do you think it really happens where like some fucking kid goes, "Oh shit, kid, you ate a cookie." Yeah, you ain't feeling great. All right, go in your room and close the door for a while. Wait 7 hours and then you'll sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it would be worse than that. It wouldn't be life-threatening, but, I mean, it is something that would make them sick because they're like, for children, they couldn't handle it. Now, for teenagers and whatnot, they were going to be doing that anyways. Teenagers already steal their parents' prescription drugs like Vicodin and Percocet.
Oh, yeah.
They already steal their parents' liquor. This is just one more thing that teenagers are going to steal.
Well, or it just could get them hooked even earlier into shit. You know what I'm saying? They just would try something and they're just like, oh, cute, this feels kind of thin. And then they start to like it. You really don't know. But either way, I mean, fuck, you can't prevent everything. It's just what it is, man. Yeah. Look, alcohol's been legal for years, and look how many fucked up things happen due to alcohol.
Yeah, well, but that's become a fact of life. That's not something people care about anymore because everyone's desensitized to the effects of alcohol on the country.
Desensitized or, segue, Maxwell, oversensitized, like getting into arguments on Facebook.
Oh yes,
Oh,
yes.
see that? See what I did there? See what I did?
That was a nice catch, man.
See what?
Nice
No,
little,
I figured we could run that into the dust too. So we gotta get onto your story because this might require some more like examination of how our fucking society is faltering and falling into pieces.
Yeah. Well, this chick who's was part of this she's still part of the Toastmasters group that I'm not in anymore. But anyway, she's still on my friends list. And she's just kind of a whiny, libtard chick. Everything is, oh, won't this guy shut up already? Blah, blah, blah. Really a lot of anti-Trump shit, which I don't care. Trump's not great either, but fucking A, man. Really, do you have to focus all your energy on this? Like, this is what you're worried about,
every
lady?
Single day. Yeah, every single post. Yeah.
It's always something. So anyway, I put up a post. I was bitching about something that happened to me with paratransit. Where basically I purchased my pass on the last day of the month, and then it didn't switch over. So when I tried to ride Monday morning, they said I owed them $3 because it wasn't updated in their system. So anyway, I was bitching about that on Facebook. So this bitch, she writes and she goes, you need to cheer up. She goes, you need to start, you sound like the cranky get off my lawn guy. And I said, I've always been that way. Where have you been? I was like, but then again, you're part of that same group that didn't really want to take the time to get to know what kind of person it really was.
It was you who just said something and then couldn't just say, well, that's not me. You had to say, but then again, bitch. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted to let her know, like since you wanted to go there. So then she comments and she goes, wow, that's harsh. I didn't steal your eyesight. And I'm like, okay, why are you turning it into a blind issue now? When did my blindness ever come up here?
It was the easiest thing to pull at, of course.
Of course.
Yes,
and because that's the first thing that came to her mind about you, dude.
Obviously.
That was the first thing. That was the first thing she really saw.
Pretty much. Anyway, we went back and forth for a while. Even Chef Rawlings jumped on it too, man.
Oh yeah.
He got involved too, and we were totally fucking. But she wasn't picking up what we were putting down at all, And eventually she just said, she was like, "God, you're vicious to me. Okay, I'm out," and that was her last thing, And because we pretty much were going at her with some logic, and she was like just stupid, and she wasn't picking. She was like, "Well, if you feel alienated, maybe that's something you should take a look at." And I'm like, okay, I felt alienated in that group, She was like, why? We may not have done anything for you, or we may not have done enough for you, but we never did shit to you. So I don't know why you feel you have to drag the group into this. And I'm like, oh my God. Bang him.
The group. Why do you have to drag Toastmasters into this? My goodness.
Except she's the one. Yeah, she's the one that dragged Toastmasters into it by.
Man, if you get so invested in a group called Toastmasters, and I'm not mocking anyone for their hobbies, I'm just saying, like, there's like, right. If you're investing that much emotional energy, like, you're talking about the group.
Well, then don't talk about my family.
Yeah, you step back just a bit from that identity politics group mentality there.
Yep. Well, there you go. And that was, but it was just funny because she was not catching anything. Just we were, coming at, and she just wasn't picking it up. And I'm like, oh my God. So it was just another validator of yes, these were the kind of people that were in that group. Mm-hmm. And it's like it just kind of proved itself to me. Like, okay, well, obviously you prove what kind of person you are and how you really think. It just took some time. You know what it reminded me of? You guys ever seen Higher Learning?
Yes, that's the one about the the one about that stupid the
skinheads.
Yeah, where it was.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Yeah, it was one of those '90s fucking Spike Lee. We're all black people are amazing, white people suck type movie, kind of. But then
you're so condescending when you say that, Jeff. All right, accept our position in life.
I know. Well, actually, it wasn't that bad. It was kind of even-handed, but it was more even-handed than a movie would be today. That's actually.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, there was one part. The example I was going to use was the part when the black dude walks up to Remy and goes, "Okay, you got all this white power stuff on and all this anti-nigger stuff." He's like, "So in your mind, you probably walk around here and call me a nigger all the time, huh?" And that pushed. It really made Remy face the fact that, hey, guess what? I am a racist. And he just flipped out and went in his room and started destroying the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it totally, and that's how I felt with this chick. Like, she almost was making herself look crazier and crazier as she was arguing with me, and more believable to me, what I believed about her.
That's what happens, yeah, like reinforcing what you already know, which is okay. Thank you for keep telling me, because that's what she did in the first post about. This is about. It's like, I never was about my eyesight, but you just made it about my eyesight, so we know who's thinking about it. So that you just reinforce everything.
Yep, you took it there. You look stupid now.
Well,
so
of course she did, because you're bitter. You can't be angry just because you didn't like.
Oh,
the
that's
vibe of
yeah.
the
She
group.
said I was angry and combative. Combative. I like that too. Combative. Like,
Like
we're trying to hold you. We're trying to fucking keep you
you're
steady.
gonna beat somebody's ass. Well, that's the thing. People, verbal violence, Maxwell. Verbal violence. People believe that they can be verbally violated violently by words.
Assaulted.
That's the culture we live in, where combative words. It's violent words.
Verbally violated violently?
Yeah,
My goodness, the alliteration.
You're goddamn right, my friend. That's what I do.
I could be one of those fuckers, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon. I could see somebody, I'm going to press charges against you for what you said to me.
That's combative words. They bruised my ego. Oh.
They crucified me.
Oh. That's the way the world did. Believe me, it's happening already, man.
I know.
It's happening.
Unfortunately.
It's happening. It's the way the world works already.
I'm seeing some very political correct fuckulosos,
So it's definitely going down that road. So don't be surprised. Combative.
Yeah, I'm angry and combative.
You're angry and combative, and you lack compassion.
Oh, that was a separate chick. That was another one.
I know.
That was this other chick that sent me this. And it's like, yeah, I'm hearing more of this crap now. Have some compassion. Or, I'm an angry, pissed off, salty fucker. It's like, well, I'm sorry, but to me it was funny, and I wanted to post on Facebook, or something that made me mad. I wanted to vent on it.
Fuck you. I wanted to post on Facebook.
Hey, don't read my newsfeed. Unfriend me. Well, that was the other funny thing. Okay, after she got ripped apart in that whole Facebook argument, the next day I put up another post about something else. Nothing. I wasn't ranting. I was actually talking cool about something, and she liked it. And I'm like, okay, what's your deal?
She's turning the other cheek, Maxwell. She's reaching out an olive branch to you to show she's the bigger person.
Great.
Virtue signaling by liking your shit, because she is bigger than you. She likes your stuff even though you hurt her, even though you use combative fist-like words to batter in her consciousness and tear apart her soul. She'll
never be the same now.
Because think about how much effort it takes, Maxwell, to run your mouse over the page and click. One click at least. You have to move so many muscles to do this. Mm-hmm. And it takes it can take almost 10 seconds to do this. And it shows that she's the bigger person. So I would apologize to her, actually.
Yeah? You think I should, man? I think I should write her an email and say, listen, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, so I fucked up there, but we're back here. So, yeah, that's about a sign,
Look
I think.
Look at our IT guy fucking up, man.
I think it's a sign. I think it's a sign that means that we basically need to wrap up.
Wrap it up.
Fuck it. It's a sign. It's time to go enjoy the rest of my fucking weekend, play some more video games, check out that shit, whatever shit you want to check out.
And me too, man. Check out some music, or go to the pool, whatever the fuck I'm gonna do.
Yeah, whatever, man. And Kraken, thank you for coming on as always.
Yeah, man. Thanks for rolling with us.
Of course, guys. Absolutely.
All right. Well, anyways, this has been the Nothing Sacred Show for the 9th of July, 2017. I am Cruise Control.
I am Maxwell Silverhammer.
And I'm the Kraken.
And
that's the story there, bitches!
Heil Hitler.